Okay, back on Brian's lawnmower. I got it down and I did get it to start and run, and I mowed the grass, but it was hard to start, and so I let it cool down and I thought I'll try and start it again, and it got a bit of kickback, so I thought, I wonder if the keyway is maybe 1 or 2 degrees off, because when the blade stops quickly like that and bends the blade, it often either shears the key, or it might just shear it 1 or 2 degrees, which is what I was thinking, because it still ran. But I just pulled this off. Now, can you see that the keyway? I don't know what you can see. The keyway is there on the shaft, and the keyway is there on the flywheel, so it's approximately 90 degrees. Now, because coincidentally it's moved exactly 90 degrees, the mower runs, but it's probably a few degrees out. But anyway, that's done its job of not breaking the flywheel, and I'll have to put a new keyway in, obviously, but I just thought it was a bit interesting. Now, how I remove the key, I've got a little lever here. This is the one that I tend to use most, that one there, but because I've got to dodge the linkage here, and there's a nice spot to put it under there, and I'll give it a whack with a mash hammer. I'll screw this nut down, wherever it is. I don't know if you can see this. I'll screw it down so it's about flush, and then give that a whack whilst I'm applying a bit of upward pressure, and I've never had a bit of trouble with breaking anything. Alright, but yeah, look at that, the mower, the keyway's 90 degrees wrong and it runs beautifully. Oh, it's hard to start, but I won't say it runs beautifully, but it runs. So there you go. Okay, now I had a new key in the shed, so can you see that now? Looks a hell of a lot better, so it should be in timing now. I'm going to clock it slightly clockwise to advance it a little bit, and I'll put it all back together and see how it starts. And this is the sheared key that came out of it, so yeah, new one, it's all looking pretty hunky-dory. Okay, so I don't know what you cunts can see, but I've just lowered this down. Fuel hose is leaking a little. Let's see. Alright, well, I started alright. There's still a vibration, but that's the best I can do. Alright, well, that's good news. Okay, Peter here, how are they hanging? Yes, I've just finishing up on Brian's lawnmower here, and I think this will be the last video. So, I'm just about to put it together. I've put on a new fuel line and a new plug. Had to lubricate and adjust all of the linkages here because it's sat for 20 years. Flush the tank. I actually do like this mower. It's made in America. The wheels are made of steel. It's got plastic hubcaps, but the wheels are made of steel. So how's that? You don't see that anymore. It's a little heavy perhaps. Now my plan is I'm going to try and start it now. And then it needs an oil change and a new filter. I mean, can you see? Oh, I'll try and get in the sunlight. Hang on. see the quality of the filter. So let's try and put that on one end, and if I can, if you hear any swearing, don't be surprised. I mean, fucking hell, if you're watching my channel and you're worried about swearing, yeah. So I think if I give it a shot of degreaser and a bit of a hose down before I take it back, my sister should be something like happy. I put half a tank of fuel in it. Alright, I'll put you in here, and got no idea how it's going to start, especially with that air filter, but I think that would be the only issue. Now, can you see anything from there? It's a bit crooked, but yeah, you're fucking dealing with me now. So I didn't think you'd want 40 minutes of me mowing the grass. So it seems to me, oh, it's smoking, so it's pretty hot. Alright, can you see that smoke coming out of there? I'll let it cool down for a bit too. Alright. Gee, it does a good job. I do quite like this mower. So all I've got to do is change the oil in the filter and give it a hose off with some degreaser. I think the cutting height is about right. You've got to do this stupid 4 wheels separately. I don't know why the Americans do that, but it's definitely smoking. I don't know if you can see that. Now I'm not an expert in mulch mowers, but I actually think this one is probably either the best one or a better one, because the design of the blade is so great, and it really does a job. It's quite noisy, and when I say noisy, not the noise of the engine, but the noise of the grass in the mulch getting chopped up multiple times. You can hear it whirring around in there. So the motor works quite hard. That might be why it's smoking. Now with the sun this low, I don't know what you're going to be able to see. I've left a bit for my son Matthew to, I'm going to give him a go on the weekend. So I left a bit here, and I left a mohawk up the middle just to give you cancer before and after. So can you see? I don't know what you can see. I've left a bit of a mohawk there, but gee, the thing does a pretty reasonable job. And I think as mulch mowers go, if you don't have to empty the catcher, this grass is about 2 inches high, I reckon. So I couldn't see the value in you lot watching me mow my yard for 40 minutes. That's why I'm puffing. I'm a bit tired. So that's what it looks like. Now whether it looks better with the sun behind you or in front of you, I don't know. Let's see if we can get to that mohawk bit that I left for you. I mean, I can see it with a naked eye, but I don't know if you can see it. But anyway, so that's it there. And to me it does a pretty good job, because I'm used to side throwers. And then I did go up and down beside the driveway twice. It's a little bit harder to push than a normal mower. And it doesn't have ball bearing wheels, surprisingly, but they are on steel wheels. You could possibly put bearings in. Now I don't know if you can see, I went up and up, I went down once and up once. And gee, it does a good job, but it does work pretty hard. Alright, so I think this is the end of the video. Hasn't burst into flames, which Brian wouldn't be too happy with that. But yeah, I've got a clamp on there to hold the bales down. If it was me, I'd disconnect that brake and the switch off, because I think it's bullshit. But I'll give an oil change. The oil level is right, but it stopped smoking now. But that's the Bolens mulching mower, and I think it's right to send off to my sister. So I'll say uru. Okay.